Hello everybody, my name's Idiotic Synergy and today, new model just dropped for the Imperial Guard. It is, hang on, I have to remember his name, Lord Solar Leontus, which I'm probably mispronouncing it, but look at this model. This model looks great. He's basically he's in charge of the guard, is from what I gather. He's basically in charge of the guard, of all of the Imperial Guard, and he just has a horse that he rides into battle. Because why not? Why not? Why be safe somewhere when you have a horse and a sword and literal gold armor? This guy is like the Adeptus Custodes, but human, and that makes him more awesome. Also, he's got a cyber horse, which I like the cyber horse. It's such a cool model. He is such a cool model. I'm so happy. And I want to shove this guy into like a Mordian Iron Guard army, or a Praetorian army, or Vostroyan Firstborn army. Just because I have an idea of, I want this guy with a bunch of Rough Riders leading the charge and then having like a bunch of rank and file guard behind him with like single shot las guns, like las muskets. That would look so cool. That would look so cool, and I want to know if you can shove him into literally any Imperial Guard army. I assume you can, because this guy is literally in charge of most of the Imperial Guard, if not all of it. So, yeah, I also like the fact he's got a horse and he's gone, you know what, I could just sit here and, you know, do orders normally, or I can go into battle myself, and he chooses to go into battle with a robot horse. And his horse is decades old. And this is the thing that's slightly weird, is that it's a largely cybernetic, which probably means that some of it's still flesh. His horse might still be flesh somewhere, but wouldn't that mean it would stink? Just imagine it, he pulls up and you're like, oh wow, he's here. And then next thing you know, you get like the scent of rotten horse flesh just from one of the vents. It's like, oh god, his horse is still alive in there. No. That's how I imagine the horse would it doesn't talk. Although it's 40k, why not? It could talk. It just says the words "kill me," but it just comes out in binary. So, like, the AdMech understand is like, we know your pain, but you must suffer for the Omnissiah. Anyway, yeah, this guy actually reminds me of Helbracht a little bit, because he's like Helbracht in a lot of ways. Very much, I'm going to kill every heretic, mutant, and alien to protect mankind. So he would fit right in with Black Templars, to be fair. And also, I like his helmet. His helmet is the most stupid thing I've ever seen, but it looks great. Also, he's got a massive swishy cape, because it's Warhammer. Why not? Why not have a swishy cape? And also, I just have to point out, is that his sword looks a lot bigger than the sheath. How does he... It does look a lot bigger than the sheath. So, I don't... Anyway, maybe it's just a perspective thing, but it does look a lot bigger. The sword looks a lot bigger than the sheath, so how does he shove the sword into the sheath? Anyway, I've said sheath too many words and it sounds weird now. Also, another thing I like about this model is his gun, because his gun has a fancy handle. Look at that handle, it's fancy. Everything about this model screams fancy, and I would be tempted to kit bash this model for Vostroyan Firstborn army, just because he would fit right in with Vostroyan Firstborn, because the guy's just the fanciest, most over-the-top model I've seen in a while. And yeah, I like what his gun is called. His pistol is Soul's Righteous Gaze, and his power sword is called Conquest. Of course it is. Oh dear, but his sheath looks too small for the sword. How does the sword fit in? Anyway, the blade looks bigger than the sheath. It's weird. Anywho, I'm going to ignore that. He does have an ability where you can just gain command points. I haven't played much of Ninth at all because I've been too busy playing Necromunda. So I haven't really had too many games of Ninth. And yeah, this seems like a good thing to have. Basically, he's a command point generator. Or something to that effect. And yeah, he's on the cover of the Codex Imperial Guard, which is fitting because he should be the face of the Guard. Because he sort of represents everyone in the Guard, not just Cadia. And yeah, that's it. It's a really cool model. Really cool model. I want to know if his horse has any attacks. I want to know if the horse breathes sulfur breath, like with the Admech horses. That would be cool if the horse's mouth is actually like a Gatling gun or something. But yeah, it's the fact there's two things that bother. Well, it's just the sheath. The sheath bothers me because the sword looks too big to fit. But it's just the whole description of the horse being mostly cybernetic, or largely cybernetic, meaning there's still some fleshy components in there, which after being centuries old would just stink. It's got like a zombie horse that smells, but it's cool. It's a cool horse, but I want to know what bits aren't cybernetic. Like, is the brain not cybernetic? So if someone goes in close, it just smells. Yeah, it's a horrible image to know, like, it's basically an animatronic from... Oh god, no, it's nothing like Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like one of those animatronics in Five Nights at Freddy's where it's like, oh, it appears like a normal animatronic, but there's like a dead corpse inside it. And I have literally compared a robot horse to Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm sad, but then again, I did watch a lot of Game Theory when I was younger. Anyway, other than that horrible realisation, I'm going to go. My name's been Idiotic Synergy. I'll see you later. Take care and happy Halloween, because Halloween should be fun. But stay safe, yeah? And take care. That's it, really. I need a better outro. My lovely horse, no more running around with a man on your back like a train in the night.